Hi, this is Deann with crafty1.blogspot.com. My YouTube is Crafting with D, and I'm here to do a tutorial on how I put my Upcycle lunch bags together. So let me show you what I've done. Oops, let me see. This is the bag that I'm going to be showing you how I made. I haven't done the back yet, just added the paper, but it can be used as a gift bag. It opens, I have a piece of Velcro, and it folds out just like a regular bag. Doesn't affect it at all. It can also be used for a page in a mini album. My friend Melinda from Two Boys Scrapping I'd sent her one, and she put it together by putting a gusset. Like a piece of cardstock inside the gusset, and I believe she glued it in place, and then she glued this down too, I think. So, but that way she can punch the holes wherever the holes are in her mini album, and it can actually be used as a bag, which you want to glue down the gussets on this side too though. So it would just be like a pocket to put stuff in. So that's what she did. This is for a swap I'm doing on mini album scraps. So let's get started. Put this out of the way. You start with just a plain lunch bag, just a brown paper lunch bag. You want to cut it down to 9.5 inches and score at 8.5 inches. Just take a score across, and that makes your flap. And then I took the flap here, or the bottom, and just fold it flat. Use your phone folder to flatten it really well. You'll see you'll have it like that. That way the paper will lay flat on both sides. And for the paper, the size of paper you cut, that I cut, was 5 inches by 8.25 inches, 8.25 inches. So it's 9.5 for the whole length of the bag, 8.5 score at the top, so I scored 8.5 inches, and then the paper size is 5 inches by 8.25 inches for front and back. So that's what I did here. These are ready to go. This is my paper, front and back. This is the back. What I did was I inked the edges with weathered wood and brushed corduroy. I love these colors together. They're so vintagey. Love them. And then I just tape these on. So I'm going to use my ATG. Hopefully it works for me, because I don't have the best luck with ATGs. I don't know how these other girls make it look so easy, and they're so fast, and see, I'm stuck already, and not good. I'm sure I'm holding it wrong. Right, that's good. And then that gets attached to the front. Just like that. And then this, make sure this is down flat. And then attach your back piece. So all I've used is 2 pieces of paper. Not even a full 12 by 12 sheet. And that's all the paper I used for this. Well, I haven't done the back yet. I'll show you what I might do. So let's get this on. Get that on like that. My bag's a little crooked. I'll fix that later. The next thing I did was, well, here's the pieces that I used. This is all I used on it. There's bling and a little green mossy stuff, corrugated cardboard that I gessoed, just a couple of little odds and end things, and some fluffy ribbon flowers at the bottom, and a butterfly from Gina Designs, and a couple little tiny flowers. So the first thing I'm going to do, move this out of the way, I'm going to hot glue my flowers to the bottom. Make sure I got this in screen. Hope you can see that. If I can go any closer. Let me see if maybe I can get down a little closer. Oh, that's better. Okay. Well, that worked. So I'm going to hot glue. And my hot glue is very, very, very hot. I don't know if I'm going to continue using this because I'm just so afraid I'm going to burn myself. I have had second-degree burns from hot glue before, so I'm a little leery on the hot glue thing, but I love using it. But I need to get a different gun, I think. One that doesn't scare me. So we're just going to glue those in place. Fluff them before they dry completely so they don't dry flat. So that's that. We got that glued on. The next thing I'm going to do is I took a piece, oh, you know, the flowers I cut from here. It's this flower ribbon, and I just cut it apart. The next thing I'm going to do is add some of this green mossy stuff. I'm going to put it on this side this time because I don't want to cover the birds' faces. Oh, sticking. Actually, the first thing, I use these. They're twigs that I took off, or branches that I took off of Autumn Inspirations. It's just like little berries from the fall. A sprig from Joann Fabrics. I wish I would have bought more because the color is perfect. So I took 2 of those and I just kind of twisted them together at the bottom. Just to give them a little more strength. And then I rolled it up. And I rolled it up. Let's see. I think I want this one to go this way. And then I kind of glued it down. I think I'll glue it there. Underneath one of the flowers, I just put a big glob of glue. And then press that down. It's going to be covered with the moss too. So, and then I took the moss. The moss I got from Joann Fabrics as well. It's called Moss Roll. It's really cool stuff. It's very messy though, but it's on a wire. It's like a wire mesh that it's all kind of squished on there. But if you can't find that, you can use just regular moss. The sheet moss or the reindeer moss. This is packaging from a fruit basket. So you could use that. And we're just going to glue that on just to give an anchor for everything. So I'm going to glue that. I'm going to add a little bit more glue up here. So you're not going to see it. And then add some glue. Oops, sorry. Wow, that thing's hot. And just hold it down for a minute. Just till it sets up. Let's see. Get my bag back here so I can see what was the next I did. And I twisted the branches a little bit just to give them a little, I mean, because the branches just aren't perfectly straight in nature. So give them a little bit. Just kind of play around with it. I think I like that. And then I'm going to glue my little flowers on. This will also help hold the branches down. I added 3 of this cream flower. I have no idea what it's called. I got it from Michael's a long time ago. So I'm just going to glue that down. Put another glue glob. And I forgot my pokey thing so I don't burn myself. So I'm going to use the back of my Sharpie marker here just to glue it in place. Hold it for a second. If you press hard enough, it gives it a little poof on the ends. Just a little bit. And then you add a bling. I'm adding the blue bling. This is vintage spring, so that's why I got the blue in here and the cream with the birds. There's one, and then I will put the other one down here. Another piece of bling. The rhinestones I'm using are they're sticky on the back, and they are from AC Moore, and they're $1 for the pack, so it's a really good price. I think I may have tore that off. There we go. And then one more, I'm going to add, need to add it here, I do believe. Or maybe up here. Ooh, very hot. One more bling. So there's that, and then I have these 2 little blue ones that they were the same color, but I just rubbed some of the weathered wood just to give it some blue. And these I'm just placing one here, and one here. And I forgot my stickles. I put brown stickles in the center of these 2 flowers. Oh, and I got strings everywhere. So the next thing I did was I added these little stringy flowers. There's 3 of them. Sorry. And I also got these from Joann Fabrics, and they come in a little bunch like this. Or was this Michael's? I don't remember. I've had them for a while. Could have been Michael's in like the wedding section, perhaps. They're just little buds. Sorry, I don't remember where I got them. But for these, I like to twist them. The wire, just around anything. If you want to make them smaller, you can wrap them around a smaller base, which I think I'm going to do, because this one's not small enough here. Here we go. That'll work. I'm just going to glue those in place. There's 3 of them. Use a smaller pen this time. So it kind of looks like a little, like a vine. I'll hold that in place for a minute. This glue is really hot. It takes a minute for it to dry. And then the third one, I had cut off. Don't use good scissors for this. These are the scissors I dedicated to cutting wire with, because I can never find my wire cutters. So I just cut that off and twist it on the bottom a little to flatten it. I probably can't see that. And then I'm just going to put a dot of glue where I want to put the flower. Let's see. I think I'll put it here. No. I'll put it over here. And then just hold it in place for a minute. Okay, so that is all of the flowers I used. So that's not too many. It's 4, 3, and 2, and 3. And then I got these butterflies. They're laser cuts from Gina's Designs. And I sprayed it with my chalkboard Tattered Angels. And it is Decadence is the color. And then what I do is, I've had this forever, like for at least 12 years. I keep refilling it with more white paint because I just love it, because it has a brush attached to it. I just take the brush and I just kind of hit the edges a little. Just something I like to do. I probably should have done this after I glued it on. Just a little bit. It doesn't. You don't need a lot of it. Get that out of the way. And I bent it up a little bit to give the wings some dimension. So it's kind of looks like it's ready to take off. And then I'm going to add this to. Well, this one's a little bigger than my other butterfly, so I think I'm just going to have it flying away. Think about this for a second. Maybe I'll put it here. Do I like it there? I don't want to cover the birds. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I just add some glue, hot glue to the body part, and then I'm just going to kind of stick it in there. Oops, and of course I got paint all over my hands. And you get like a glob in the center, so you can add like little pearls or some stickles to hide it. I'm going to try sticking a couple of these on, see what happens. Without burning myself. Oops. Huh, that's kind of cute. I like that. So that's what I did to that. And oh, and the last thing I did was I had taken a cardboard box and I tore off the outside piece and exposed the corrugated cardboard underneath, and then I painted it all with white gesso, and then I took my Tim Holtz Alterations die. This one is plaque and postage. I used to cut this out, and then that gets put on with See, this one's a little smaller, so I have some exposed here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it, and then I'm going to cut off the excess. Okay. So I'm using score tape for that because, you know, that's where you're going to be grabbing it the most. So you really want it to be stuck on there good. I'm going to put it to the bag. I can always go back in and add more glue because I'm not sure where my end is going to be that I cut off. So you can use regular glue too, like a wet glue. You don't have to use tape. Well, it's not cooperating with me. Huh. There we go. So I'm just going to line this up. You can see what I'm doing. I'm going to line it up and just stick it on there. I think that looks good. Give it a good press, and then we're going to operate on it, give it a little, or a haircut. So we're going to cut those ends off first. And then see here, I still have the exposed bag a little bit, so I'm going to cut those off as well. Kind of at an angle. Oops. What about this camera angle? I keep getting off screen. Like that. There we go. And then the last thing I did was, I've had these hook and loop dots from Oriental Trade since my 8th grader, who's going into high school next year, was in 1st grade. So I've had them a long time. They just last and last. It's, you know, like the never-ending supply here. So I'm going to use that to attach the lid with, or the flap. I'm just going to stick it on. Don't put it on the bag part. Put it on the corrugated cardboard. And then press it down. Give it a good press. And the first time you want to be careful when you pull it open, and then I press them separate. Well, then you get, that one's a little harder. So that's that. And it opens for you. And I took some of my, I don't have my daubers with me, but I added some of the weathered wood and the brushed corduroy to on the top here and on the edges. So this is what I came up, what I've got. See if I can back it up a little bit. And then the back is not complete yet. And this is the original one that I made. You can see the butterfly was a little smaller, so it fit on the branch better. I almost said gooder. And I think for the back of these, all I'm going to add are, it's probably going to add a pocket and a tag with my information, and then like a card in it. So I have these. I'm not going to use these exact ones because the papers don't really match. This one's kind of close, but I'm going to add one of these to the back of it, and I'll show you what these are too. They are journaling cards with envelopes that Gina had designed for us. They're PDFs that you can get on mini album scraps. And there's this one. Very cute. Try pocket. I think this is my favorite one. But it's so cute. It's like a little pocket. Get back back in there. And then I would just attach this to the back, you know, with matching paper, and maybe a piece of ribbon along the bottom. And then I have this one. It also opens, so you can write on the inside of it. And then there's this one, which I don't know if I'll use this one or not. It's a little bigger. I think I'm going to stick with the first one, but it's really cute. It opens like that. Like that. And then I have a little card that goes with it. So that's really cute. I like this one a lot. Actually, I like all of them. They'll be fun to put into minis. So that is that. And they come on little sheets that you can print out. You can see my son was playing with my stamps. So that's what I'll be using on the back of my bags. And so I hope I did okay. I think this was my actual first tutorial. I'm sure I went on too long about something, but they're a lot of fun to make, and there's just so many things you can do with it. It's really, really good. So I hope you enjoyed this. This was mini, they're for mini bags, or for mini albums and gift bags, and they're Upcycle lunch bags, or Upcycle paper bags. So, okay, I'm going to go because my throat's hurting. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.